as a university lecturer, whether you are on retirement or you are not on retirement, you are supposed to renew your contract. And so as I speak with you, I just renewed my contract, even though I'm not retired.
So even if it's like you work on contract. Every lecturer works on contract.
University lecturer works on contract, whether you are on retirement or not.
For how long?
It depends. You see, when you are appointed as a lecturer and you come with an MPhil, you are an assistant lecturer. You are on probation for 2 years. After the 2 years, you are confirmed, and after your confirmation, you are given extra contract of 4 years, making it 6 years. After the 6 years, it is expected that you promote yourself to become a senior lecturer. If you don't become a senior lecturer within that time, you will be given 2 years. After the 2 years have elapsed, you are either sacked or whatever. The university will decide. And so when you become a senior lecturer, you are given post-retirement contract of 6 years, 6 years, 6 years until you become a professor and then you retire. And so as a senior lecturer, my appointment with my contract with the university ended on the 30th of September. That's a few weeks ago. And I have a new contract which is starting from October 1st to October 1st, 2020 to September 30th, 2026, because I'm a senior lecturer, 6 years. So when the 6 years are about to end, I have 6 months within the period to renew my contract. And so if my contract is ending in September, on the September 30th, I have around March to write for the renewal. And when you write for the renewal, it will go through your head of department, your dean of faculty, and then those who have collegiates, it will go through the college before it gets to the registrar's office. And then somebody will go and defend there. Either the dean or whoever is in charge will go and defend why they are supposed to renew your contract. And so that is how the process works. Now, Prof. Jane retired as a professor. And per the statute, she is supposed to have post-retirement contract until she is 70. Now, if you take the university system, for example, in my university, the academic year begins on the 1st of October. The contracts begin on 1st of October and ends on the 30th of September. And so, even if you are going to be 60 and your date of birth is beyond September, it goes to the next academic year. You see, so let's say, for example, I was born in November, and my contract was supposed to end this year. Because I was born in November, I won't retire this year, but I'll retire next year, September. I hope you are getting the point.
Interesting. So yes, even if Prof had turned 70 this year, if
Prof had turned 70 this year,
after September,
and her date of birth is beyond September, she could have gone beyond September till the next September.
Oh, okay. So that is how she could have retired close to 71 years rather than 70 years.
So it will go into 71 years to the September of that year. The reason is that they don't want to give you they don't want to terminate your appointment or let your appointment continue to run because students probably they would have given you courses to teach. And so they don't want you to stop teaching the courses because, for example, you were born in April, even though the academic year will end in September or August. And so that has been the convention. And so professor, as somebody who has retired on professorial rank, has post-retirement contract to age 70. She's not 70 yet. Now the next question we need to ask is, when did she write for the renewal of her contract? Was it done before she was named a running mate, or it was done after she was made a running mate? These are questions that Captain Smart should explain to us. The next thing is that if somebody is made a running mate of a party, is she paid by Ghana for being the running mate of a party? Mr. Senna?
Not that I know of.
No, it is not possible. The fact that they have named you a running mate does not mean that Ghana is paying you for anything. And so even if the professor renewed her contract or wrote for the renewal of her contract after she has been named as running mate, she did nothing wrong. She could get her appointment renewed and she can go on secondment. The next question is, if her contract was renewed by UCC, was she given the new contract letter and did she accept it? If that was done, can Captain Smart prove that to us? That's number one. Now, another question. Now, the next thing is that, can UCC pay the professor for doing no work? The whole University of Cape Coast, can they pay the professor for doing no work? That is also untenable. Now, the next question is, I know a lot of new lecturers who have been recruited around April, May. And around April, May, most of the universities were in the middle of the academic year, where they have already shared courses. So the new lecturers who came in since April, May, June, July, August, September, who have been drawing salaries, what work did they do? Or what work have they done so far to get those salaries withdrawn from the public purse? Is it? And so at the end of the day, what I know is that if Captain Smart didn't mean mischief, he should have gone to the University of Cape Coast to find out, one, is the university contact with the professor? If she is still having contract with the university, has she violated any of the rules in the contract? In any case, I'm a lecturer. Since the pandemic, we have all been teaching online. And so if I make arrangement with my students to teach online, and I am a running mate of a party, does that mean I'm not doing my work? Because being a running mate does not pay me anything. In any case, I know some university lecturers who are parliamentary candidates. In the NDC, we have this guy called Raga. He's a lecturer at University of Cape Coast. Does it mean because he's a PC, he cannot lecture anymore? Or because he's now a PC, he should resign? You all remember Baumia was a running mate. When they lost the elections, he went back to the Bank of Ghana to work. Now, we also have Prince Hamid. Prince Hamid is also a PC. And he is the boss of NACA. Has he resigned his job? And so, you see, let us speak the truth about things. If they have tried to find something bad about the professor, I think they are going to suffer because she's done nothing wrong. She can renew her contract and decide that the fact that they have named me as running mate, I'm going there, so I'm not coming back again. The fact that I've renewed my contract does not mean that I will accept. Or the fact that I've waiting for the contract to be renewed does not mean that it has been renewed. And so if she was paid any money in August and September, has Captain Smart found out why the University of Cape Coast paid her that money? And if the University of Cape Coast can pay her for doing no work, then where don't you think that it is mischief? So Captain Smart should go back to University of Cape Coast, get the necessary things sorted, and then come back to us and tell us if the venerable professor has done anything wrong. So for me, I don't think that it is just propaganda.
So as far as you're concerned, the University of Cape Coast has more questions to answer on the issues Captain Smart raised than Prof.
Of course. Because you see, you are working at Radio Gold online, right? They say if Radio Gold comes back as normal as it used to be, and you are no more working at Radio Gold, do you think that the management of Radio Gold will pay you?
No.
So if they pay you, what does that mean?
It means that the accountant has questions to answer. The management has questions to answer.
Because in any case, you don't pay yourself.
Yeah.
And so if I'm a lecturer at a place and I receive monies that I don't deserve, all right? I may not even sometimes they even pay some money into accounts and you don't know where it's coming from. I did some supervision work as far as students, projects, MPhil students, MMed students, and all that. Some money was paid into my accounts. I was trying to ask her, how did it happen? So it was later the accountant of the graduate school told me that, it had to do with my supervision work I did. And I got the information 3 months after. You see, and it's always not possible for you to even receive alert when monies are paid into your account, depending on the bank you are in. You see, and sometimes you don't even check your balance to see how much money you have. Are you telling me that the professor will go and check, oh, how much money do I have in my account? I say, and so these things happen. So even if monies were paid into her account, one, was she aware? If she was aware, was UCC also aware that they were paying money to the woman for doing no work? And so, I mean, Captain Smart should come again. We are waiting for him. He should come again. If he doesn't understand how the university system works, he should take his time. And unless, of course, we all know that he did this just to throw that into the eyes of the people and use that as a decoy. Because he knows, and we all know that Captain Smart is MPP. And he's doing this for his paymasters. If he doesn't mean mischief, a letter was written by the Minister of Education.
I'll read that letter.
Yes,
stipulating
how post-retirement contracts should be. You should go to some universities. There are people who are beyond the ages stipulated, and yet they have been given post-retirement contracts. In some cases, some are even given positions. You see, I know people who are more than 70. They have post-retirement contracts in the universities, and some of them are even heads of departments. You see, there are people who are senior, who retired as senior lecturers, and so they were supposed to have post-retirement till age 65. Some of them are 68, 69, and they still have post-retirement contracts. In some cases, they are heads of departments. So what is Campus Smart talking about? Again, like I said, you should go back to all the universities and find out all those who were employed around April, in the middle of the semester, after courses have been shared to lecturers. They have been drawing salaries from May till now. You should tell us what work they have done for them to draw that salary. And so is it because the woman is
and I think that's the major issue. Maybe he was happy at the fact that she is the running mate of the National Democratic Congress. You are saying that does not even disqualify her from even applying for a contract extension.
At all. Because you see, the fact that you are running mate does not mean that you are vice president. Are you saying that Adakabre, for example, is the running mate of Akriabenko, isn't it? Has he resigned his work from the radio station he works? Why? Because being a running mate does not pay. Nobody pays you for being a running mate. Nobody pays you for being a parliamentary candidate. Ghana will begin to pay you when you win and you go to parliament. Because at that time, you are a lawmaker for Ghana. So as at now, you are spending your own money and doing your own things. All right. And so for me, it is just propaganda. Unless, of course, Captain Smart can prove to us that, one, UCC paid her money even though she has no contract with the university. And she knew that the money had been paid into her accounts and she didn't declare. You should prove that to us. And so then, all I will say is that he's just doing propaganda. He doesn't understand how the university system works. And if there is somebody at UCC who is leaking information to him, he should tell the person that he hasn't done him any good, because as a good journalist, he should follow up on stories before he brings them out into the public.
Let me end by asking you, because you mentioned a few names, does working as a lecturer at the university preclude you from engaging in active politics of any form, if that does not involve taking a position in government?
You see, the first question you ask yourself is, when you go to the university, we have an association called TANE, Tertiary Education something network, for MDC students. And we have TESCON for MPP students. And before these associations are renewed, their forms are supposed to be signed by their patrons. And so if somebody signs that form, what does that tell you? It tells you that person is an MPP person, right? And if somebody signs for TANE, it tells you that person is an NDC, right? And so if I can sign TANE forms, Indirectly, what am I saying? I'm an NDC. And so the question you ask yourself is, these students have been renewing their association year in, year out. And they have patrons, even when they are doing programs, they write letters to you. And the university management, all university managements are aware of this. So if a lecturer cannot take part in active politics, then they should cancel TAIN and all the political associations on campus, so that we know that at the university or on campuses, we don't do politics. In any case, there are lecturers who are parliamentary candidates. So if somebody is a parliamentary candidate and the person has not won election, all right, doesn't mean because you are a parliamentary candidate you should lose your job. No, for me, I don't think that there is anywhere in the law which says that a lecturer cannot take part in active politics. No. The only thing is that once you win the election, okay, once you win the election, you cease to be a lecturer because you are going to parliament, and you can't work at parliament and be a lecturer at the same time. All right. So from once that happens, you go on secondment. I know a lot of lecturers who became MPs who wrote for secondment. So they went to parliament, and once their 4-year term is over and they don't get the mandate of the constituents, they come back to lecture. And so for me, I don't think that there's anything wrong for a lecturer to say I'm being active politics. The only thing which would be wrong would be that you deal with people based on their political affiliations. That is what is wrong. But for somebody to say I'm a lecturer, I mean, most of the appointments that we have had, they were lecturers before. Excuse me to say, the deputy EC, was he not a lecturer at Legon? No. Dr. Bosman, was he not a lecturer at Legon?
Yes. Mustafa Hamid was even a lecturer.
Mustafa Hamid was a lecturer. And Prince Amma used to be my colleague at UEW Mathematics Department, and he was made the boss of NACA. And he's now a PC. He has not resigned his job. So what is the big deal here? You get it? I can mention a lot of names. But of course, the thing is that if Captain Smart really wants to do a good job for Ghana, and it does not mean mischief, he should come again. Get us the necessary document to show that, oh yes, this, that happened. And the venerable professor has done something wrong. That's all.